Time now for Night Courts. Tonight, we are on the case of blocked Twitter users. On Tuesday, federal appeals court ruled the president cannot block critics from his Twitter account. Hours later, freshman Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was sued for the very same thing. So let's take it to our legal eagles. Constitutional law attorney Jenna Rives and criminal defense attorney Bob Bianchi. Welcome back to both of you. Good to have you with us tonight.
Hi, Shannon.
Thanks, Shannon.
Okay, so now as I read it now, there are at least 2 lawsuits now of people who are suing the Congresswoman saying, hey, she blocked me, she don't want to hear my stuff, but if these are the new rules, if the court's going to say the president can't block people, then she shouldn't be able to either. So let's go to Exhibit A. This is the judge who made the decision in the Second Circuit this week saying the president he can't block people. It says the First Amendment does not permit a public official who utilizes a social media account for all manner of official purposes to exclude persons from an otherwise open dialogue because they express views with which the official disagrees. So, Bob, why should the Congresswoman be able to block people if the president cannot?
What the court also said, Shannon, was that there was overwhelming evidence that this was a public forum. The president refers to it as an official account. He actually conducts business hiring, firing, and talking to foreign leaders with this account, which is much different than the Congresswoman, as well as the fact that he's subject to the Presidential Records Act, which they've already declared his tweets are in fact official records. And the court was very clear to say this does not mean all public officials' accounts would be subjected to this. It's going to be done on a case-by-case basis, depending on whether or not, in fact, they've created an open public forum, and if they have, then you cannot discriminate. And you have to let people, you can't block people.
I mean, she certainly knows how to leverage this and has become a social media star. And it's certainly been to her benefit, stirring things up and drawing attention to things that she wants to highlight, policy issues and otherwise. The Miami Herald, in an opinion piece called "The Court Rules Unpersuasively That Trump Can't Block Critics on Twitter," says this: even if real Donald Trump, this is our Exhibit B, is classified as an official presidential platform, the Supreme Court has held that government speech doesn't create a public forum. Otherwise, Trump's critics would be entitled to equal time at his news conferences. And Jenna, we know they complain a lot about not getting that.
Yeah, they do. And, you know, the thing that's really interesting here, though, is while I agree with Bob that that is a very interesting analysis and that perspective that the court did hold, it doesn't apply broadly to every public official. I mean, we're also talking about, you know, state and local level. But AOC has, under the definition and the rules that the court has provided here, she has absolutely conducted official business, you know, put her opinions and her viewpoints on what's going on while conducting official business as a Congresswoman interacted with other public officials on her Twitter account. And so basically here, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And so she cannot flout this this holding and say that she is somehow exempt from this ruling just because she's not President Trump. I mean, this is just blatant Democratic dishonesty, frankly, to say that somehow she is separate than President Trump when, let's face it, Congress and the presidency are actually co-equal branches.
Okay, so let's go to Exhibit C here. This is the attorney for one of the people who's suing the Congresswoman. He's a former Democratic assemblyman in New York. He says she doesn't like my stuff, so she's blocking me. His attorney says Twitter is a public forum. Imagine a politician is giving a town hall. Imagine if they only select people they like, Bob.
Yeah, you know, I think that there's some legitimacy to these arguments that if you were going to be discussing things on your social media platform that involve your job, then you can't engage in viewpoint discrimination, it's called, i.e., you don't like my viewpoint, so you exclude me. And but the question here is, did she create a public forum by the manner in which she went about her Twitter account? And with the Trump case is much different because they conceded that he uses it for official business. Ocasio, I'm not really sure. That it's a fact question the court's going to have to determine. And if they do determine that, then she'll have to unblock them.
We're out of time, so very quickly, Jenna, 10 seconds.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree that it is a public forum, though. She's conducting official business. Twitter is, you can follow everyone on Twitter, and so if she's going to put her views out there, it should be treated absolutely similarly. There is no reason that just because he's the president, she's different.
Just use the mute button. It's the best part of Twitter. People don't even know you blocked them. All right, Jenna and Bob, thank you both. We'll leave it to our jury at home. Let us know on Twitter what you think. We're not blocking any of you. All right, thanks, guys.